All right, welcome back to lesson 8.3. We are continuing the planning of your aquarium. So just a disclaimer at the start, since you're choosing one of 4 tanks, there's a good chance that you don't choose the tank that I did. But I figured the best I could do is show you how things would work with my tank, and depending what you picked, you can just apply the same rules to your tank. So we spent a lot of time in a bonus video figuring out the volume and base of the fish palace. If you didn't watch that video, you missed 15 incredible minutes of mathematics. JK, it was kind of wild. But this is what I'm going to roll with. And if you look, I have a volume of 8,640 inches cubed. And I have a base, that's my second star over here, of 720 inches squared. Now, I want to mention something. I also talked about the underwater adventure just really quickly. And we know that every inch of fish needs 230 cubic inches of water. So if you notice what I did with the underwater adventure, I said, oh, let's take the volume, 3,888, and divide it by 230. Cool. And I got an answer of 16.9, which says, hey, you could fit 16 fish here. But we forgot about a key element, and that's what we'll be focusing on, at least in part, today. If you look over on page 285, there's actually 2 things we need to keep in mind. Every inch of fish, yes, just like we talked about, needs this many cubic inches of water. That's true. But here's the other one. For every inch of fish, the base of the tank should also have an area of at least 30 square inches per inch of fish. So over here, when I did 3,888 divided by 230, true, I did get 16.9, which means I could fit 16 fish. But watch what happens when I take the base, 36 times 12 equals 432, and we said we need 30 inches per fish. 432 divided by 30, don't think I'm doing this in my head, I already have it on my calculator, only equals about 14.4 possible inches of fish. So when we did the volume, cool, we could fit a lot, but we actually have to take the smaller number, because if the base can only handle this much, then we can't go any bigger than that. We have to actually go with 14 fish for underwater adventure, not the 16. Okay, so we're going to work with our base division in this case to figure out how many inches of fish we can have. But anyway, I just want to straighten that out. Let's go back to the fish palace. These are our 2 numbers we're working with. And so let's take it one by one. Number 4 asks about blank total inches of fish could live in my tank. If you chose underwater adventure, we just found that out. It says 14.4, but you don't want 4/10 of a fish, because that's like less than half a fish, and he not going to be live. So you could fit 14 fish, not 15. But for the fish palace, I think we already did some math here as well. Do we have our base? We do. Our base is 720 inches squared. So whenever you want to find how many inches of fish that your aquarium can handle, you're going to take your base, in this case it's 720, and just like I did for the underwater adventure a moment ago, you're going to divide it by 30, because every inch of fish needs 30 inches of base level space. So you can pause and solve that on your own if you like. I'm going to go ahead and solve it here. 720 divided by 30 equals a really clean number, and that number is 24, no leftovers. So that means this fish palace can handle 24 inches of fish. And if you're like, why are you just calling them inches of fish? I'm going to show you that in a moment. First, they want you to explain your thinking, and you can just walk through and discuss, well, we know what we need here. We need at least 30 inches, and so we wanted to find out how many 30s could fit into 720. Or if you did Waterworld, Fish Hotel, same idea. Okay, let's talk about part 5, or number 5, part A. They tell us to complete the goldfish order form on the next page. So let's go back to this guy. This is where the fun stuff starts. So if you chose the Fish Palace, we just found out that we have 24 inches of potential fish to work with. Okay, this is like when I would go to like a basketball card show when I was a kid, and my dad would give me $12 and would say, like, spend it on whatever you want to spend it on. You've got $12 to work with. It's the same situation here, but instead of like Michael Jordan cards, it's goldfish. So you've got 24 inches, and it's your job to go through and figure out how many of each type of fish you actually want to order for your fish tank. For instance, let's walk through a few. Our old friend Swimmy from our very first page of this section, he was 1 inch. So if I want Swimmy in my aquarium, let's say I just want one Swimmy, because there can be only one Swimmy. That means we have one 1-inch fish for a total of 1 inch. Okay, so that means we have used 1 inch out of our 24, which means we have 23 inches left to utilize. Let's say I want Swimmy to feel safe, and I'm sure this is how it works. So I'm going to hire some fantail goldfish bodyguards. They're going to be twice his size, and they're going to protect him at all costs. They might eat him. I don't know how it works. Let's order 5. So if I order 5 2-inch fantails, that's going to be like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 inches of these guys. So I've used up 11 of my inches so far. And again, you don't have to copy this exactly. This is up to you how you want to order your fish. Maybe you just want 24 swimmies. Or maybe you want to start like delving into some variety here. I've got, I think, 13 inches of fish left. So maybe what I'll do is I'm going to go for the big kahuna. I'm going to go for the lionhead goldfish. Let's order one of those. He's going to be the one that runs this place. So that's 1 4-inch, which is just going to be 4 inches. So my running total is now 11, 15. I don't want to deal with fractions right now. So I do want a black dragon eye goldfish, but I'm going to avoid the smaller and the bigger. I'm going to go with the whole number version, the 2-inch version, and I think we're going to get 2 of those. So what is 2-inch? 2 times 2? 4. So right now I'm at 11, 15, 19. I have 24 to utilize. So that means I have 5 inches left to work with. And I think I'm going to go ahead and come back to these lion heads. I want 1 of each size. So I already have a 4-inch. I'm going to do a 3-inch. And then I'm going to order a 2-inch as well. So let's see if this worked out for us. 1 plus 10 is 11. Plus 2 is 13. Plus 3 is 16. Plus 4 is 20. Plus 4 is 24 total inches. We hit it right on the nose. Now let's talk about real life for a minute. If you buy a fish palace, which can hold 24 inches of fish, does that mean you have to order 24 inches of fish? No. You could technically probably just put Swimmy in there. I don't know a lot about fish tanks. He would be super lonely and it'd be way too big for him. But you don't actually have to hit the 24, but I want to get as close as I can. It's like if my dad gives me 12 bucks for that card show, I want to make sure I use that money because that's a lot of cash to spend at a card show. I don't want to come back and like have to give him $5 a change, you know? So in this case, I decided to try to get as close to 24 as I could, and I did. And so let's go back. We finished the order form here. And number 5, part B says, explain how you know that the fish you chose will be healthy living in your fish tank. And I think they mean like mathematically, like based upon what we know, that they need this much space, volume-wise, this much space as on the base. How do we know that they're going to be healthy? Now, can we guarantee that Swimmy is going to make it? I don't know. I'm hoping that his friends help him out instead of like eating him, but we don't know that much. They just want a math answer here. Okay, boy, I tell you every single time for lesson 8, these things get really complicated, or if not complicated, they take a lot of work, don't they? So I'm hoping that helped you guys out today, and I think we're done. All right, I will talk to you guys later. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, as always, message me, email me, whatever it takes. I'll try to help you out. All right, so long.